Hello and welcome. Glad to have you back again to your daily destination of Gunners' latest updates and transfer news as transfer window is about to close in Turkey and Saudi Arabia. Here we go again. Leandro Trossard Arsenal exit truth as Albert Sambi Lokonga fee revealed. Arsenal faced significant interest in their players during the summer transfer window, with Leandro Trossard and Albert Sambi Lokonga both attracting headlines. Despite speculation, the Gunners managed to keep hold of Trossard, while Lokonga departed in a move that highlights the club's financial strategy. Leandro Trossard, who joined Arsenal from Brighton in January 2023, was the subject of late transfer interest from several European clubs. Roma made a concrete approach for the Belgian forward in the final week of the window, but Arsenal swiftly rejected it. Borussia Dortmund and Fenerbahce had also shown interest earlier in the summer. However, after recently signing a new contract with Arsenal, one that provided a pay rise but did not extend his deal beyond 2027, Trossard reaffirmed his commitment to Mikel Arteta's squad. Arsenal were keen to acknowledge his contribution since his arrival, making it clear he would not be available for transfer. That said, there remains a sense that Trossard could seek a fresh challenge at the end of the season, particularly as he edges closer to the final years of his contract. With Arsenal boasting strong attacking depth following the arrivals of Eberechi Eze and Noni Madueke, competition for forward roles has intensified, raising questions about the futures of both Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli, who remains a key figure in Arteta's plans, was on the radar of Bayern Munich and Barcelona this summer. Neither club was willing to meet Arsenal's valuation, but the Brazilian continues to be seen as a player who could generate a significant fee should the Gunners need to balance their books in the near future. Given financial pressures and profitability and sustainability rules (PSR), Arsenal are aware that at least one major sale may be required soon. Meanwhile, Albert Sambi Lokonga's exit provided some relief to the wage bill. The Belgian midfielder, not in Arteta's long-term plans, secured a move away from North London on deadline day. The financial details were initially kept under wraps, but German sources have since revealed the fee to be as low as £260,000, with potential add-ons. Though modest, the move was seen as beneficial in removing his salary obligations from Arsenal's payroll. Internally, the club is striving to improve its revenue from player sales, a strategy increasingly important in the modern financial landscape. While Lokonga's departure reflects pragmatism, the decision to retain Trossard shows Arsenal's determination to remain competitive this season, even if tough choices await in the future. Arsenal are continuing to make headlines during the international break, with off-field developments potentially impacting Mikel Arteta's squad in the weeks ahead. Despite the closure of the English transfer window, the Gunners remain active behind the scenes as sporting director Andrea Berta looks to finalize possible outgoing deals. At the same time, concern has arisen over striker Victor Gyökeres, whose commitments away from football could affect his availability. The Swedish forward, one of Arsenal's marquee summer signings, has been named as a witness in an upcoming defamation trial in his home country. Gyökeres' agent, Hassan Setinkaya, has filed a lawsuit for gross defamation against Swedish publications Fotboll, STHLM, and Expressen. The outlets allege that Setinkaya and his agency, HCM Sports Management, had ties to organized crime, accusations that the agent strongly denies. According to reports from Sweden, the case will be heard next year in the Stockholm District Court. Gyökeres is not accused of any wrongdoing, but has agreed to testify on behalf of his agent. While the timeline of the trial has not been fully confirmed, the possibility that he may have to appear in court has raised questions about his potential absence from crucial Arsenal fixtures. This situation comes at a time when Arsenal are hoping for stability following a busy transfer window. The club spent close to £260 million on reinforcements, including Gyökeres, goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, midfielder Martin Zubamendi, winger Noni Madueke, defender Christian Mosquera, and attackers Eberechi Eze and Piero Hincapié. The investment underlined Arsenal's determination to mount a serious Premier League title challenge and finally end their two-decade wait for a domestic crown. Currently sitting third in the table, Arsenal endured a setback just before the break, suffering their first defeat of the season in a 1-0 loss to Liverpool. Arteta's side had previously enjoyed a perfect start, and the Spaniard will hope his new additions settle quickly to keep pace with the title challengers. With the squad spread across international duty, the manager is carefully planning ahead for Saturday's clash with Nottingham Forest, where 3 points will be seen as vital to regaining momentum. For now, Arsenal supporters will watch closely as Gyökeres balances his professional commitments with the legal process in Sweden. While there is no suggestion of wrongdoing on the player's part, any absence from the squad could prove disruptive during a season in which every detail may count in the hunt for silverware. Dauman makes England U19's debut as Arsenal stars dominate headlines. Arsenal youngster Max Dauman added another milestone to his rapidly growing career after making his England under-19 debut in a 2-0 win over Ukraine on Wednesday. The 15-year-old midfielder, who only recently burst onto the Premier League stage, was rewarded with a call-up to the U19s, despite usually featuring for the U17s. Dauman came on in the 70th minute, with the young Lions already 2 goals ahead thanks to strikes from Divine Mukasa and Shumaira Mhuka. Liverpool's Rion Gumoha also started in an impressive England display. For Dauman, it marks yet another sign of the faith coaches have in his potential, having already become the Premier League's second youngest player earlier this year when he featured for Arsenal against Leeds, even winning a penalty during that game. The teenager's rise has been so sharp that he has been named in Arsenal's Champions League squad for the upcoming campaign. Due to UEFA rules, he could not be listed on the B list, and therefore takes a place among senior stars in Mikel Arteta's 23-man A list. Gabriel Jesus is the most notable absentee, with the Brazilian left out as he continues to manage fitness concerns. New arrivals including goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, defender Piero Hincapié, and forward Victor Gyökeres all make the squad. Fellow academy talents Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly are not on the A list but will feature on the B list, which covers club-trained players aged between 15 and 21. Arsenal's schedule has also seen changes confirmed this week. Their Carabao Cup tie against Port Vale will now take place on Wednesday, September 24th, with an 8 p.m. kickoff live on Sky Sports. Meanwhile, their Premier League clash at home to Crystal Palace has been moved to Sunday, October 26th, to accommodate Palace's European commitments. Elsewhere, Gyökeres has addressed criticism following his £63.5 million transfer from Sporting CP to Arsenal. Alongside Alexander Isak, who sealed a record-breaking £125 million move to Liverpool, Gyökeres faced accusations of leveraging player power to force a transfer. The striker defended himself, insisting clubs retain most of the control in such situations. "You don't really know what goes on behind the scenes," Gyökeres told Sky Sports. "Clubs can do what they want with a player. It's not always in our hands." With Dauman's debut, fixture changes, and Gyökeres settling into life in North London, it has been a busy week in and around Arsenal. Arsenal sporting director was happy to miss out on £21 million. Mikel Arteta transfer target Arsenal appointed Andrea Berta as their new sporting director in March, hoping that the ex-Atletico Madrid transfer chief would enhance their recruitment in the summer. Arsenal lost the race for highly rated goalkeeper Joan Garcia to Barcelona during the summer transfer window, but it was no skin off Andrea Berta's nose. Garcia, 24, was linked with a move to the Emirates in the early part of the summer as Mikel Arteta looked to strengthen his goalkeeping department. The Gunners sold Aaron Ramsdale in August 2024 and replaced him with Bournemouth shot-stopper Neto on a season-long loan. After the Brazilian made just one appearance last term, starting Arsenal's Champions League clash with Girona, Neto returned to the South Coast, and Arteta began his search for a new backup to first-choice goalkeeper David Raya. Garcia's name frequently appeared in gossip columns, and he was indeed on Arsenal's radar, it can be revealed. But Berta, the club's new sporting director, who was appointed in March, wasn't keen. According to The Athletic, the ex-Atletico Madrid transfer chief was wary of paying Espanyol, the Spaniards' £21 million release clause. When Garcia chose Barcelona and signed a 6-year contract, Berta was happy to pivot to an alternative. According to The Athletic, The ex-Atletico Madrid transfer chief was wary of paying Espanyol the Spaniards' £21 million release clause. When Garcia chose Barcelona and signed a 6-year contract, Berta was happy to pivot to an alternative. Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga was brought in, costing Arsenal far less at £5 million. Meanwhile, Garcia has immediately been installed as Barcelona's new number 1 and is enjoying an impressive start to the season. The 24-year-old pulled off a string of saves to prevent Barca from suffering a humiliating defeat at Rayo Vallecano on Sunday, as the La Liga champions drew 1-1. He put in a fantastic performances and earned us a point, Barcelona boss Hansi Flick said, post-match. Flick recently described Garcia as the future the Barca, and unlike at Arsenal, everyone was on board with his signing. With Joan Garcia, we have a very young, talented goalkeeper who is at a very high level, Flick explained at an awards ceremony in Germany last week. Everyone decided together that he should be the future of Barca. So, ultimately, it was clear what our approach would be. Arsenal have completed the signing of Ecuadorian defender Piero Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen in a season-long loan deal, with an option to make the move permanent for £45 million next summer. The 23-year-old becomes the club's 8th and final arrival of a record-breaking transfer window, taking their summer spending to more than £250 million. Hincapié, who will wear the number 5 shirt, was unveiled late on deadline day as the Gunners' final piece of the puzzle, according to the club's official announcement. His signing comes at a crucial time for Mikel Arteta, who may need defensive reinforcements following William Saliba's ankle injury suffered during Sunday's narrow defeat to Liverpool at Anfield. The centre-back brings valuable experience despite his age, having made over 100 appearances for Leverkusen since joining in 2021. He was a key figure in Xabi Alonso's side that clinched the Bundesliga title in 2024, earning praise for his athleticism, versatility, and composure on the ball. Hincapié has also established himself at international level, featuring regularly for Ecuador since his breakthrough. His arrival has already had a knock-on effect within the squad, with Polish defender Jakub Kiwior heading out on loan to Porto after being deemed surplus to requirements. For Arteta, Hincapié offers both cover and competition across the back line, capable of operating as a central defender or in wider defensive roles. Speaking after the deal was confirmed, Arteta highlighted the qualities that attracted Arsenal to the player. Piero has a real physical presence. His versatility and tactical flexibility give us strong added defensive options. He is a big character, with a very good combination of both youth and maturity. He will make our squad stronger and more competitive as we continue into this season. Arsenal's sporting director, Andrea Berta, who has overseen an ambitious summer of recruitment, also praised the signing. At only 23, Piero already has significant experience, both in the Bundesliga and at international level. He is an intelligent defender with real strength and versatility. His performances in recent years for both club and country have been of a consistently high quality, and we are confident he will continue to grow and be an important player for us. Hincapié is expected to join up with his new teammates after the international break, and could make his debut immediately if Saliba's injury sidelines him. With his arrival, Arsenal's squad now looks more complete than ever as they aim to push for the Premier League title.